So something about Phasmophobia has gotten your attention. You went to Steam, bought the game, muddled your way through the tutorial, thought you knew what you were doing, and start your first game only to realize you have no idea what you're doing, and you end up dead. Well, have no fear, because I will get you started on your path to becoming a ghost hunting expert. The first step to becoming a ghost hunting expert, of course, is to learn the basics. The basics in Phasmophobia will be the evidence. So how do ghost orbs look like? How do I get an EMF 5? And what the hell are those dots? Well, I will be answering those questions for you in this video. Let's start with the EMF Reader. Personally, I always start with the EMF Reader, as I feel like this can be one of the most useful items in finding out where the ghost room is and finding out what the ghost is interacting with. Now, this does not work like a traditional EMF Reader that you might be thinking about. In this game, you want to use the EMF Reader anytime the ghost interacts with anything. So, for instance, this can be like a door being opened or closed, a picture falling off the wall, a dish being thrown, the ghost turning the breaker off, a knock on the window. Any sound that you hear where you think the ghost is interacting with something, you want to make sure that your EMF reader is activated, and then you want to head to the area that the ghost interacted with that object. Now, for instance, let's say you hear a door being closed, and so you take the EMF reader up to the door that you heard that was interacted with. Well, it's gonna traditionally give you an EMF reading of either a 2 or a 3. The only time that this will change will be for an EMF 5 ghost, because the EMF 5 ghost will have a chance of giving you a reading of EMF 5. Pretty self-explanatory there. So for the EMF 5 ghost, any interaction will have the chance of showing an EMF 5, just like a door touch, light switch being turned on, breaker being interacted with. There is no one event that's going to increase the likelihood of an EMF 5. It's just either one that they interact with will have the chance of showing the 5. Now here's where it will get a little bit more confusing. So anytime that you see a ghost event, which a ghost event in this game will be the ghost manifesting itself, whether it be a physical form, a shade form, sort of like a clear see-through form. Whenever a ghost does that, it will give an EMF reading of 4. Now just because you get the EMF 4 does not mean that you're going to get a 5. So even a non-EMF 5 ghost will give you an EMF 4 reading for all ghost events that happen. Again, manifesting itself, or even the mist ball ghost events or airball ghost events where you see like a ball of mist coming towards you and then the ghost hissing or breathing in your ear. These will give you an EMF 4. They will never give you an EMF 5. Now let's go with fingerprints. These are pretty easy and self-explanatory. Whenever a ghost interacts with a door, taps on a window, or turns the light on or off in the room, a ghost with fingerprint evidence will leave fingerprints. Ghosts can also leave fingerprints on other areas, such as the car and the keyboard, as long as the ghost interacts with that object and they have fingerprints as evidence. All that you need to do is, whenever you hear the interaction, you can use a UV light, shine it on the doors, the windows, other objects, light switches, and see if you find the UV fingerprint. So what you will see is a handprint on the door, a fingerprint on the light switch, fingerprints on like the keyboard, a handprint on the window. The only difference that this could be is if the ghost is an obake, and obake has a chance to not leave fingerprints when it interacts with something, and also has a chance to leave like a 6th fingerprint on the door. So they are pretty easy to tell if they do that. You always want to make sure that you get photos of the fingerprints, as well, as those are worth a decent amount of money if you're looking to fill up a photo book. And a little trick that you can do if you don't have a UV light but you hear a door touch interaction, you can take a photo of the door interaction, check your photo book, and if it says fingerprint under the photo, you will know that the ghost is a fingerprint ghost without even needing a UV light. Next is ghost writing, and it's pretty self-explanatory and simple to use as well. All you do, you take the ghost book, you place it down somewhere in the ghost room. Typically, I tend to place it on the floor. At some point, if the ghost is a ghost writing ghost, it will interact with the book and write in it. Now, the frustrating thing is that it's up to the ghost when it writes in the book. Nothing you can do can speed it up. So you can get it within a couple minutes, or it might be 15 to 20 minutes before you get the ghost writing. Here's a tip to keep in mind with ruling out ghost writing. So if you have the ghost book laying down there in the room, and you see the book move ever so slightly, or maybe fly across the room. Either one. If you don't see ghostwriting in that book, then the ghost will not be a ghostwriting ghost. The reason for this is because ghosts will prioritize writing in the book over throwing the book. So if there's no writing in there and the ghost threw it, you're not going to have ghostwriting. You can also take a picture of the ghostwriting to count as interaction photo. Freezing temperatures means that the area that the ghost is going to be freezing. The way you can tell this without a thermometer is if you can see your breath in the room. You see your breath, you know that there are freezing temps there. If you have a thermometer, you know that anything under 32 degrees Fahrenheit will be freezing and anything under 0 degrees Celsius will be freezing. The one thing to be careful of with freezing temps, like I talked about earlier with EMF 5, are the air ball or mist ghost events, because you will see like a little mist ball coming towards you, which can be easily confused for your breath. So if you have that and it immediately followed by a hiss or the ghost breathing in your ear, I would double check to make sure that you have freezing temps or not, and don't just assume that that mist ball is freezing temps, because it can be very easily confused. Also, if you do have freezing temps, the ghost could possibly be a demon, which are one of the most aggressive ghosts in the game, so I would be careful. Spritbox is one of the creepiest pieces of evidence in the game and one of the most immersive in my opinion. All you do with the Spritbox is you turn it on, go to the ghost room, make sure the lights are turned off, and begin asking questions. The questions that you want to be asking it are like, where are you? Are you here? How old are you? Are you friendly? And you will see an X if the Spritbox registers your voice and there was no response, or you will see the ghost icon light up and hear a creepy ghost answer. Nothing will beat the first time that you talk into the Spritbox, you ask the ghost where it is, and the ghost responds saying it's right behind you. You will definitely throw the Spritbox down, run out of the house, and then question whether or not you should even continue on with this investigation. Here are some things to keep in mind. In lower difficulties, the ghost note should tell you whether the ghost prefers to talk to people who are alone or if it will talk to everyone. It's just easier for me to assume that the ghost prefers to talk to people who are alone, so make sure there is nobody in the room when you ask it questions if you are not sure of that. The Moroi will also curse the player who has asked it the Spritbox question when it gets a response, and the curse essentially means that your sanity is drained at a faster rate compared to everybody else, and the way to fix that curse is to take a sanity pill. Now let's go to an example of what exactly you would be asking into the Spritbox. Are you here? Are you friendly? Where are you? Well, if asking those questions in a dark room and getting those kind of responses aren't enough to give you goosebumps and make the hair on the back of your neck stand up, then maybe this will. So here's the secret Diogen response that you can sometimes get if you are within 1 meter of the ghost. Where are you? Well, after hearing that response, I surely wanted to run the hell out of the house, mark Diogen in my book, close that trailer, get the hell out of there, get my money, never come back to the game, only to come back a few minutes later and load up again. Either way, that's why Spritbox is one of my favorite items in the game. It is super creepy, and that's sort of the basics of it. When I first started playing Phasmo, dots were not a piece of evidence in the game yet, so one of my biggest questions was Ghost Orbs. How do I know what Ghost Orbs look like? I assumed they would stand out, be these big balls of orbs that you should easily be able to see, but the actual fact is they can actually be easily missed by newer players. So after you have found the ghost room, you want to make sure that the lights are off, camera is on, night vision is on the video camera, and look around for these little orbs. They're going to be very small. I would also recommend searching the areas adjacent to the rooms if there's any rooms around it, because sometimes the orbs can glitch through the walls. Not all the time, but sometimes it's a possibility, so I like to do it to try to rule out orbs. They have also added snow in the game now, which can also be easily confused for orbs on various maps. So the main way to tell the difference is that the snow will fall straight down, while the orbs do more of a little floaty in the air. They'll go up and down, and that's the easiest way to tell it apart from snow. If you did not see orbs while you were in the room looking through the video camera, you can also place the video camera down somewhere in the room and then go back into the truck and look at the computer monitor and see if you see the orbs that way. Also, I would like to note on Ghost Orbs that if the ghost is a mimic will always have Ghost Orbs, so that does not necessarily mean that it's the evidence for that ghost, so just make sure you guys verify the other evidence to either rule out or rule in a mimic. Probably one of the most frequently asked questions by newer players is just what the hell are dots and how will we know when we have it as an evidence type. So what you want to do is when you find the ghost room, set the dots projector down on the floor. Now whenever the ghost chooses to interact with the dots projector, you will see a little silhouette of a ghost running really fast through the dots. Now you will be able to see the silhouette of the ghost running in person or in the video camera on the monitor in the truck, unless the ghost is a Goryo, which it can only be seen on a video camera with nobody else in the same room. And nothing will be funnier than when the ghost is a baby ghost and a dots ghost, and you see a little silhouette of a baby either running really fast or crawling really fast through the dots projector. Just like the ghost writing book, dots evidence can be really annoying to obtain because it can also happen very quickly, or it can take a little while before the ghost chooses to interact with the evidence, and there is nothing you can really do to speed up that process. So that is the basics of the evidence and how to find them. If you are new to Phasmo, welcome to the game. You will be an expert ghost hunter in no time. I plan to make more guides for Phasmo in the future as well, so if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for future guides. If you have any specific questions you would like to see a video on, leave a comment below, or if I got something wrong or left something out, you can let me know as well. I also stream on Twitch every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday, so make sure to follow me there as well. Thanks everyone, happy ghost hunting, and I will see you next time.